this is Judge Anselm. So I am ready for everybody. I know I have a couple people in person, but I have Angel Rosas, I have Michael Bonica, I have Shannon Heatherly and Amber Straub that are at the jail still, and I can see them.
We will get them going.
Awesome, thank you. And I don't need Caleb Daniels till 11.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. All right, Mr. Fry, I'm gonna bring your client back. Who was that again, Mr. Fry?
Mr. Stinson.
Devontae Stinson, Your Honor.
Yeah, there it is. All right, Mr. Fry, you now had an opportunity to speak with your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Stinson, have you had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had an opportunity to discuss that pre-sentence report with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with him as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Fry, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
Not the accuracy or relevancy, Your Honor.
All right, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
No, Your Honor.
Because this is a felony firearm and a flat 2-year, there are no sentencing guidelines. So before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Fry?
Yes, Your Honor. As the court has stated, this is a flat 2-year sentence on this case. But there is something in the PSI that I think is legally wrong. On the second page under recommendations, it says sentence shall run consecutive to all sentences for which he is currently serving. That's not the correct law in this case. In People v. Clark 619 NW2D 538 2000.
Ms. Arnold, you're listening, right?
Oh,
Wait, hold on, let me get my prosecutor up here. So Mr. Stinson pled to a felony firearm, which is a flat 2-year.
okay.
And the pre-sentence report recommends that this sentence will run consecutive to all sentences for which he is currently serving. And now, Mr. Fry, restate your objection, please.
Yes, Your Honor. That is not what the law says, Your Honor. So People v. Clark 619 NW2D 538 2000. That case states that the consecutive sentence of a felony firearm only runs consecutive to the underlying predicate felony of that felony firearm. In this case, there was none. He's serving a prior sentence, so it would just be the flat 2 years that starts immediately at sentencing. He is on a parole detainer, so that does affect any possible previous credit he might have had, but that ends on sentencing, where he will start getting credit for this sentence. If we look at the statute for felony firearm MCL 750227B, it also clearly states a term of imprisonment prescribed by this section is in addition to the sentence imposed for the conviction of the felony or the attempt to commit the felony, and shall be served consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the conviction of the felony or attempt to commit the felony. So the statute's also clear that the consecutive nature of felony firearm only applies to the underlying or predicate felony, not any previous convictions or even other felonies that he might have been convicted of in the same case, which is why oftentimes the prosecutors will charge 3 or 4 felony firearms if there's multiple felonies on the same case. So, Your Honor, the mandatory 2 years should start today sentencing. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, I'm not aware of that case, but was he on parole when this happened?
Yeah, he's being held on a parole detainer right now. Is that correct, Mr.?
If he was on parole when this happened, it's mandatory consecutive to parole.
So Mr. Stevenson, I believe this was your pre-sentence report. He's currently being held on a parole detainer, correct?
Roll.
What-
He is on parole, yes.
So I know by statute, I'm not sure about the case Mr. Fry's citing, and this is actually Mr. Sneed's case. I wasn't planning on being here.
Oh, I got Mr. Sneed. I'm sorry.
But if he was on parole at the time it happened, by statute, it's always consecutive to any sentence he's currently serving if he was on parole.
Mr. Fry, I'll be honest, I've got 10 sentencings this morning, so I don't have time to take a recess to look at this, but I could potentially bring it back next week.
Your Honor, so if he's on parole, it's not consecutive to parole. He would have to serve the minimum sentence of the prior sentence, but then after the minimum sentence is served, he would get credit on the new offense as well. So he's already served the minimum sentence on his previous conviction, so parole doesn't apply anymore except for the detainer.
And I appreciate that, but you know, Ms. Arnold's disputing that. So, and Mr. Sneed's here. So what I think I'll have you do is, I would like just a brief on it real quick. I mean, it's a good question to know. So Ms. Adams, do I have any availability within the next, like 2 weeks out? That give him time to.
Thursday, June 12th at 8:15.
Say that again, Ms. Adams.
Thursday, June 12th.
All right, so I'm gonna set this over to June 12th, and then Mr. Fry, I'll give you 7 days to brief it. 3 days to respond, Mr. Sneed. So we'll set this over to June 12th. It's an interesting thing that, to be honest, I've never had come up, so good to know. June 12th at 8:15, we'll send a notice of hearing out and get you back, Mr. Stinson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if Your Honor, if I could just point out one thing, that part of the plea agreement was that the sentence would begin on January 23rd, 2026, when the MDOC supervision discharge date began. So I just want to remind the parties that was part of the agreement.
All right, well, we can attach that and look at it. So, all right, we'll see you back June 12th at 8:15. Thank you, Mr. Stinson. We'll get you back. All right, so, I got, Mr. Tindle, Miss Underwood, are you coming back in?
I'm ready, Mr. Tindle.
You're just right behind the podium and I don't see you. I'm so sorry. All right, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sky Shawn Tindle. And as I said, there are multiple files, file number 20-20027FH, 22-20717FC. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Tindle. This is the date and time set for violation of probation sentencing on 2 files. Miss Underwood, have you now had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Tindle?
Mr. Tindle has reviewed the document that was sent to him, and we have now had a chance to review that. He has read it over in its entirety. He understood it. In fact, I believe he visited his probation officer last week.
Excellent.
So yes, we have had a chance to review
Okay.
it.
All right. So, Mr. Tindle, you've had an opportunity to read and review the probation violation report,
Yes, ma'am.
and you've had an opportunity to discuss that with Miss Underwood.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
satisfied with Miss Underwood as your attorney and the advice she's given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Underwood, before the court passes sentence, did you want to explain or challenge anything in the report?
There was just one thing that Mr. Tindle told me. There was an allegation of 2 driving while license suspended. I believe Mr. Tindle took care of 1 and 1 was dismissed. Okay, so he would just like the court to know that. In addition, last week, Mr. Tindle paid, I believe, $200 on his fines and costs. And in addition, since that report was prepared, I believe Mr. Tindle is fully employed at, can you spell that, Mr. Tindle?
It's called Daejin, Daejin. It's a factory here in Adrian.
And that is a factory job right here in Adrian, Your Honor. Mr. Tindle is fully employed and making $16 an hour. At this time, it's not seasonal, it's a regular factory job right here in Adrian.
Ms. Hallie, were attorney fees taken off that total owed? I don't
I'm
think
not sure.
I don't-
The receipt you showed me this week said he owed $12.88 on that case.
right. I'm just saying the $16.98, does that include attorney fees that were originally ordered at the time of sentencing? Because we still ordered them back then.
Yeah, I know it. I don't see that I have.
I think they're off now
No, they're off,
because it was court costs,
right.
crime victim rights, supervision fees.
Yeah, they're not on there.
Okay, all right. Anything else you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Tindall?
Briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Tindall understands that he screwed up and he kind of took things for granted. Mr. Tindall realized he tries Ms. Holly's patience greatly. The recommendation in this matter is 12 months in jail, Your Honor. I would hope the court would consider returning Mr. Tindall to probation with an extremely short leash, Your Honor. If he loses his job, if he doesn't pay, if he doesn't report, then he knows where he's going. The jail is always going to be there for Mr. Tindall. But I think now he is motivated. He has a job that's convenient. We don't have to worry about Ohio. Mr. Tindall can just get to work and pay this off. And I would hope the court would allow him the opportunity to do that.
Mr. Tindall, anything you want to say on your own behalf?
No, ma'am, that was just my only problem, just not paying on my probation. But like she said, I finally got a job now, so I hope that I could just be out just to pay that off. Like I said, I get paid every Friday, so that should hopefully should help out a lot too.
All right.
He discharges in August this year, can be extended. I don't know how to look at it.
Okay, so Mr. Tindall, you owe, let's see here, I wrote it down.
It's like 1,200 more.
Yeah, so Mr. Tindall, I know you got a couple children that
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
responsible for. Are you
Yes,
still
ma'am.
living with your brother?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm between like my brothers and like my mom's house. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They help out with the kids.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Tindall, gave him originally. We gave him 2 years, so, all right, Mr. Tindall, here's what I'm gonna do. You are working. I know you were injured because we talked
Yes.
about it in person in my courtroom.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there was, we had a lot of information that day. So you're always polite, you're always respectful. Just do this probation, get it done. I'm gonna extend it for 12 months, but as soon as you pay this stuff off, I will allow Miss Holly to discharge you, all right?
It's perfect. Thank you so
But that
much.
means you gotta report and you gotta make payments.
Yes, ma'am.
If not, like Miss Underwood said, the only constant we have in our life is the jail's always gonna be there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, I'm gonna extend your probation 12 months solely for the purpose of paying all this off. Report, do what you're supposed to do. Let me see here. I'm going to, okay, I'm gonna get rid of the alcohol term. Let's see. Right, and I do not want to have any problems. I want you to pay this off and be on your way. And as I said, Miss Holly, once it's paid off, discharge them.
The Ohio condition, he doesn't need to go to Ohio.
Yeah, you're not working in Ohio anymore,
No,
Mr. Tindall,
no,
right?
ma'am, not no more, no, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna get rid of that condition for travel.
That's fine.
So, Mr. Tindall, you do have the right to appeal this sentence, and we're gonna mail to you a notice of right to appellate review. There's gonna be a self-addressed envelope plus 3 copies.
Okay.
initial and date one where it says, put it back in that self-addressed envelope, and pop it in a mailbox back to me. The other 2 copies are for you. If you wish to appeal the sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go back to work. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
When do you
much.
want him to report? Tuesday?
I just
It's
seen her on
Tuesday.
Tuesday, so I see her on the 10th, I believe so.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, Sky Shawn.
All right, so Ms. Edmonds will take next.